Hello and welcome. This is Sports This Morning, reaching you from Channels Television Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Austin Okunakman. Thanks for joining in. On the show today, we'll take a look at the 2014 African Nations Championship draw that was done at CAF headquarters in Egypt. And Nigeria has been grouped in Group A alongside South Africa, Mozambique and Mali. Good competition for the home base Super Eagles to actually announce their presence on the world stage. We'll also take a look at one combat sport that is doing so well in Nigeria. Yes, in 2008, Chukwumerije got a bronze medal for Nigeria at the Beijing Olympics. And then since then, the Federation has been doing so much to promote the sport. We'll be speaking to the president of the Taekwondo Federation of Nigeria, George Ashu, later on the show. But yes, I know you're still talking about the UEFA Champions League. Match day one has produced so much drama. What happens to Chelsea? That game that was played last night at Stamford Bridge, and the Chelsea won FC Basel 2. Surprise, surprise. The special one is we'll be wondering what's going on with this team after losing to Everton over the weekend in the English Premier League. We'll also talk about someone that is some sort of a legend in boxing. Kenny Norton has passed away. We'll talk about that also later on when Tayo joins me on the show. But for now, let's find out how the draw was concluded for the 2014 African Nations Championship, and then we'll come back, we'll talk. Stay.
Let me provide you once again with a summary of the different groups that have been drawn. Group A, South Africa, Mali, Nigeria, and Mozambique. Group B, Zimbabwe, Uganda, Burkina Faso, and Morocco. Group C, Ghana, Libya, Ethiopia, and Congo-Brazzaville. And Group D, RD Congo, Gabon, Burundi, and Mauritania. I thank you very much for your attention, and I invite you and welcome you to Cape Town.
So there you have it, the draws for the 2014 African Nations Championship that will take place in South Africa. Confirmed, Nigeria will play in Group A alongside South Africa, Mozambique and Mali. And then this competition will actually test the quality of the domestic league, just to give the players some competition that they can actually play and then get to announce themselves internationally. Yesterday in the Nigeria Professional Football League, yes, match day 32 was completed. We have some of the results. If we have the results, let's see it on the screen, the results from match day 32 of the Nigeria Professional League. That's one league that the league management company is working so hard to ensure that we have an admirable league that can compete with international standards. And yes, if you saw the final of the Federation Cup, you would agree with me that the Nigerian Professional Football League is actually growing. Warriors and Enyimba did put up a massive display in that game that ended 2-2, and then Enyimba won on penalties by 4-4. That's it on the screen. Match day 32 results. Enyimba defeated Wiki Tories by 2-0. It was Nembe City 1, Kano Pillars 0. Sharks crushed ABS by 4-0. It was Heartland of Owerri 1, 3SC of Ibadan 1. Good results for the team that traveled all the way to Owerri. Kaduna United defeated Dolphins of Port Harcourt by a single goal. Kwara United defeated Gombe United by 2-0. It was Sunshine 1, El Kanemi Warriors 0. Surprise team for the season. El Kanemi doing so well. They are third on the table and they are looking good to win the title if they can put up a good fight. Warriors and Lobi Stars played a goalless draw. Nasarawa United defeated Bayelsa United by 2-1. So there you have it. Results from match day 32 of the Nigeria Professional Football League. Enyimba tops the table, but Bayelsa United follows closely. They're both on 52 points, while Ekanemi Warriors is third with 51 points. Now let's talk to our guest. George Ashu is the president of the Nigeria Taekwondo Federation. Is with us today on the program. George, it's good to have you on Sports this morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Now, George, tell me, I know the World Taekwondo Federation has confirmed Nigeria for the World Team Cup Championship that will take place in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. Tell me more.
Well, it's actually a thing of honor for us because the World Cup Taekwondo, just like World Cup football, the best 16 teams in the world, male and female, are invited. The top 10 and one per continent. And we realistically have not built up a very strong team in the past. To be sure. In fact, we have never attended the World Team Cup. Wow. So coming from the World Individual Championships in Mexico, where our players participated, we put up a very strong paper to the World Taekwondo Federation and said, look, consider our application. Yeah. And we got a reply saying, yeah, we have been added to the top 16 male teams in the world for the World Cup in Ivory Coast. So that's actually a good thing for us.
That's a good one. That's a good one. And then before this invitation, there was a tournament in Lagos.
Yes.
You also want to tell us that one?
The Korean Ambassador Cup. Initially, it was initiated as far back as 1988 by the Korean Embassy as a way of supporting Nigerian sports.
Okay.
That's just 1 year after the inauguration of the Federation in 1987. And then it stopped for a while, for whatever reasons. And then it started it again in Abuja. And when even before I became president, I was able to convince them, based on personal relationship with the ambassador, to think of bringing the tournament back to Lagos and then changing the format. So we had what they have now termed the best Korean Ambassador Cup that was held in Lagos last week. So that was a very great one. We had a 20-man team that came in from Korea, a demonstration troupe, just to showcase the culture, the true culture of Taekwondo. So it was a fantastic event, especially for athletes, discovering the talents, which is important for us right now. We're at the stage right now where we're doing talent identification and development. Before the All Africa Games, before the Olympics, we need to see what our people can do. So after training programs, we need to do a lot of tournaments just so that they can get a chance to showcase their talents, and then the coaches can see who have the potential. So that we can push them abroad to earn ranking points to qualify for the Olympics.
I know combat sport has got so much benefits in terms of developing mental strength, defensive abilities for kids. Table tennis is doing so much to take the game back to the schools. What's Taekwondo doing?
Taekwondo probably has more children doing than most other sports other than football. There's hardly any secondary school you go to in Lagos that you will not find inside the school Taekwondo class. Almost none. Just to put into perspective, last year we had a little tournament in Abuja. We said, okay, the people in Abuja put together a little children's tournament, and 800 children showed up at Sheraton.
Wow.
800. So that tells you what's going on. Even the people at the Federal Ministry of Sports, practically all their children are doing Taekwondo. Our problem is not numbers. We have large numbers. I think we probably have a minimum of 250,000 people doing Taekwondo actively. I mean, uniform wearing, actively doing Taekwondo in the country. Of course, I want to double that in these 4 years. So we do have a lot of people doing Taekwondo. What we need more is exposure. You know, media is critical in letting people know this thing exists. And apart from that, they need channels like tournaments, like activities, where people can see, you know, if you're doing Taekwondo in your school, the man next door wouldn't know. Once the gates of the school are shut, the community does not have an idea.
You bring them out.
So we need something that brings them out, and then the media showcase them to the world, and then more people will know that.
And after that, it shouldn't be abandoned, because that's the problem. Kids get to tournaments, and after that, that's it, and then we keep waiting for another one to come.
The good thing about Taekwondo is unlike sports that are age graded, and after the competitive years are over, people retire. People don't retire in Taekwondo. You can retire from one part of Taekwondo, you move into another part of Taekwondo. For example, I was an ex-champion, and then I moved into coaching, and then I moved into administration, and here I am. There's something in Taekwondo that allows you to move, because it has a ranking system like a military system. So that keeps you going. You want to go to the next rank, and then the next rank, and the next rank. And so that keeps us going. That's why we have more people actively who started Taekwondo staying in Taekwondo than you have people who started athletics staying in athletics. So
Rio 2016 is still far away, but with preparation, you need to begin the moment you know you are going to participate in a tournament. What is the country doing for Taekwondo for Rio 2016?
Well, what is the country doing? I presume you're talking about the Federation.
The Federation, yeah.
Whatever we do at the Federation level, a lot depends on the National Sports Commission's overall plan. We have the athletes.
Yeah.
We have the plan. But we need to talk about the funding. The funding, in order to create an Olympic champion, the British government spent $2 million per athlete for the last Olympics. Per athlete. That's the cost of producing every gold medal. £2 million. 500 million naira. Now, a comparative athlete like Sarah Jennings, who won a bronze medal in Beijing, and Chika, that won a bronze medal, she gets £110,000 a year from the government and sponsors in funding to prepare for the same medal, the same facilities that Chika is going to fight. And Chika gets, well, he got quite a bit, but a lot of it was raised initially by his contacts. So you can see the challenge we always have in producing champions is not that the athletes are not there, but how you go to get them to go for tournaments to get their ranking.
Big question.
Cote d'Ivoire is number 1, 40 points at stake. Are we going? Who's sponsoring? After that, there's Grand Prix in London, 80 points at stake. Who's sponsoring? So the athletes are not the problem. It's the money. And people talk about going to meet private sponsors. I am myself, I'm a businessman. And when we're talking about investing for something that is tactically and strategically important for the country, the president has to get involved. They need to release money as an investment to prepare for Rio. And that's across all the sports.
Let's get to be involved because Rio 2016 is a big test for us. It's just 3 years away before you know when 2015 and then the Olympics is here again. I wish I could get you talking all the way, George, but time is running and we need to go. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's my pleasure.
And I like the fact that I gave you some distance so I don't get a low kick.
You won't get a kick from me.
Okay, George Ashiru is the president of the Nigerian Taekwondo Federation. We'll be talking about the sports in the country and how to develop the game. Time for a quick break.